The Ed Cunningham Magazine Award, sponsored by the Ford Motor Company. The citation goes to Scott Anderson of the New York Times Magazine for Fractured Lands. And the winner is Anand Gopal of The Atlantic for The Hell After ISIS. Gopal's riveting narrative recounts the suffering of one Sunni family in Iraq, fleeing ISIS jihadists only to fall prey to unforgiving Shia militants. Gopal was detained and expelled from Iraq, but managed to return to complete this compelling story that sheds light on both the rise of ISIS and the global refugee crisis.
Thank you. I'd like to thank the OPC for recognizing journalists who lost their lives in Syria. If I'm not mistaken, the majority of those are actually Syrians, and I happened to just come back from Syria and got a chance to spend time with journalists in Syria. And when we talk about Syria here, it's an extraordinarily complex conflict. You have the FSA, the YPG, Jabhat al-Nusra, Assad's dungeons, ISIS, Tomahawk cruise missiles. And it's easy to lose sight of the fact that ultimately what it was all about, and what it still is about for a lot of Syrians, is that they want freedom and they want dignity. And so I'd like to thank again the OPC for recognizing the journalism that's happening there. I actually also came back from Mosul fairly recently, and Mosul, as you may know, is a city that's divided. Part of the city is controlled by ISIS forces, and part of it's controlled by anti-ISIS forces, the Iraqi government. And I happened to find myself, probably against my better judgment, on the front lines. This is sort of, the city was divided by this river, and I happened to be on the river interviewing people and interviewing Iraqis, and all of a sudden I heard gunshots, and it turned out that there were snipers across the river in a minaret that were firing at us. So we started to run. Me and all of the Iraqis that I was talking to, we just started to run, and the bullets were ricocheting around us, and as I was running, one of the Iraqis turned and looked at me, and he said, "Where are you from?" I said, "I'm American." I said, "Okay." And we kept running, and then people on our side started firing back, and it got really hairy. We turned a corner, we got into a stairwell, and then he looked at me and he said, "Well, let me ask you something. What in the world is going on with your president?" It was heartening for me to know in this world of strife that some things are truly universal. I'm honored to be here. To be honest, I don't deserve this award, but then again, I have asthma and I don't deserve that either. I kid. This award honors great journalism, and I think it's important for me to say that great journalism is not possible without great sources, incredible sources. I was incredibly blessed to meet this family who, over the course of a year, allowed me into their lives, allowed me to glimpse their most intimate moments. And they did so at tremendous risk to themselves, because in a conflict zone, to speak out can often be a matter of life or death. And they did that not because they expected a reward. They did it just so that Americans can know and that Americans can understand what is being done over there in our name and what is being done in the name of the war on terror. And so I would like to dedicate this award to them and to the many, many Iraqis and Syrians that have had the good fortune of meeting over the years, who've allowed me and many other journalists into their lives to document and share their stories. I'd also like to thank The Atlantic, especially my brilliant editor, Denise Wills, and Scott Stossel, who I'm thrilled is here today, because The Atlantic has been behind this project from the very beginning. I think I was commissioned for 5,000 or 6,000 words, and I handed in 9,000 words, and they ran it, amazingly. And that's 9,000 words that's about an Iraqi family without a single American appearing in the story, which is very rare. And in what is probably something that's unprecedented in the history of journalism, they actually paid me more than what I was commissioned for. I'd also very quickly like to thank Anita Sridhar and Nick McDonald, who helped me shape the story. And finally, last but not least, I'd like to thank the OPC, both for this amazing honor and for allowing me to go over 2.5 minutes past what I'm supposed to. So thank you very much.